is evolutionary process model. Now, what is the need of the evolutionary process model? We all know that the software development is not a straightforward development task. It is a combination of various activities, starting from communication to modeling to development to testing, deployment, and then support. Software development is a complex system which evolves over a period of time. It cannot be dictated beforehand. Business requirements, software development requirements, the environment in which you are developing your software, it often changes as you proceed ahead with your development activity. Evolutionary models are iterative. So these models are characterized in a manner that helps you to develop increasingly more complete versions of a software. It means once the problem statement is given to you, a basic level of communication is established with the client and a quick plan is there. A quick modeling design is there. Construction of a prototype is there. Here we are not talking about that we'll have a detailed plan, or we will have a detailed design document prepared. Okay, in-depth document will not be there. So what this prototyping model says ki once the communication with the client has been established after the requirement, then you can have a quick plan. You can have a quick planning. You will have a quick modeling or quick design is there. You will construction of a prototype. Prototype means a sample will be there. Prototype, there is a significant difference between prototype and the exact product that you will be having. So prototype represents that particular model that it will give your client a look and feel. It is a prototype means it will give you an idea that how you have understood the requirement, how you are planning your next set of activities ahead, and few basic level of functionalities you might be incorporating into the prototype. So once you have a basic level of prototype with you, you will deploy and provide it to the customer. Once the customer accepts the prototype, customer will look into the prototype and customer will give you the feedback. On basis of that feedback, again this communication, then quick planning, modeling, and this iterative process will go on. Regardless of the manner in which it is applied, the prototyping paradigm assists you and other stakeholders to better understand what is to be built and when requirements are fuzzy. As we have already discussed that when customer approaches for a software development, he himself is aware of a broad level of task that I want to do this. I want a software to function for my so and so industry. But in detail knowledge, in detail requirement may not be clear for both the parties or stakeholders. Stakeholders means client, customer, you can say the developer, the user who is using it, the tester. So all the parties who are involved in, maybe the manufacturer of that software, maybe the requirement giving client of that software, maybe the user of that software, all these forms a stakeholder group. So stakeholder. So when the client or customer approaches the software developer or company, he might be aware of the broad level of problem statement that I want a software to perform for this so and so business. But a minute level of requirement might not be clear at that point of time. Or if the requirements are clear, then the fuzzy requirements are there. He might not be very sure that whether these requirements will be needed in a software or will be changed after certain time. So what is the best approach to handle this kind of requirement? You have a clear communication. You whatever you have understood out of the communication phase, you go for a quick planning and quick design, generate a prototype, deliver the prototype will be evaluated by the client, so that he will also be enlightened. I mean, he will also get to know, like, what are the features should I ask, what are the features will be needed. Oh, the screen looks like this, so these are the options available on the screen, these are the edit boxes, these are the drop down boxes, on click of this button this functionality is happening. Should I ask for a few more buttons? Oh, these buttons do not look good. Should I go for check boxes? Should I go for the some other kind of functionality? So once you give the prototype, customer will evaluate and he will give you more feedbacks. Based upon feedbacks, you again communicate, plan, and then again create a advanced version of prototype, and then again you deliver. So after certain set of cycles, your product gets more maturity. Okay. So this is something what you can say, the logic behind this prototyping model. Now this prototype, whatever the prototype that you develop, this basically serves as a first what you can say, the first system that your customer actually sees it. I mean, this is the first system. So prototype development does not necessarily means you have all your processes and methods in place. While developing prototype, it is not at all necessary that you employ all these software engineering practices in place. For the development of prototype, you might have used some programming language A, but for the entire product development, that programming language A might not be suitable. The prototyping paradigm begins with the communication. You meet with other stakeholders to define overall objectives for the software, identify whatever requirements are known. Whatever the requirements are known to the customer, try to get those requirements, outline areas where further definition is mandatory for development of your prototype. Prototype is planned quickly and modeling occurs. A quick design focus on representation of those aspects of software that will be visible to the end user. So normally, what is the focus of your prototype model? A human user interface. Interface, the screen, the look and feel of it, because customer will have more confidence if he आपने एक बहुत अच्छा स्क्रीन इंटरफेस तैयार किया है, सो कस्टमर विल फील गुड कि हाँ, मतलब इतना अच्छा दिख रहा है तो काम भी अच्छा करता होगा. The quick design leads to the construction of prototype. The prototype is deployed and evaluated by the stakeholders, who then provide the feedback that is used to further refine the requirement. So based upon the prototype feedback, further requirements are further discussed and refined. Iteration occurs as the prototype is tuned to satisfy the needs of various stakeholders, while at the same time enabling you to better understand what needs to be done. Okay. The prototype can serve as the first system. And this scientist, Mr. Brooks, recommends you throw away. You do not use this prototype further. But this may be an idealized view. Although some prototypes are built as throwaways, others are evolutionary in the sense that the prototype slowly evolves into an actual system. Although they are meant for throwaway, but normally what happens that prototype के ऊपर ही आप काम करना आगे continue रखते हैं, and basically it evolves into an actual system. So prototype becomes evolved into an actual system. So here we have mentioned the disadvantages as well. Stakeholders to see what appears to be working version of the software. Advantages, stakeholders to see, and as a software engineer you often make implementation compromises. You may make an implementation compromises if you continue with your prototype model for further refining and actual system delivery. Next model is a spiral model. Now again, the spiral model is also an example of evolutionary software process developed in the form of evolutionary releases. So during early iterations, so again, these are the iterations. So these are one iteration, second iteration, third iteration, fourth iteration. So it works in a spiral model. It works in a so the first release might be a prototype. Again, the first release might be a prototype. During later iterations, increasingly more complete versions of engineered systems are produced. There are four, now you can see the inner layer, the layer which belongs this area. So this area belongs to this concept development projects. Concept development. So once your entry, and this is your entry point. This is your entry point. Once you enter into this software development life cycle, so this particular area is related to customer communication. So you have customer communication. So during this phase, you do the customer communication. Later on, you do the planning, then risk analysis, then you engineer, construction and release, and customer evaluation. So one cycle that you have completed over here. This is the start of your next cycle. So from here to here, once you get a feedback from a customer on your first release, this phase we call it as concept development phase. Concept development. Then once your concept development is done, you start from here and iterate through communication, planning, risk analysis, engineering, construction and release, and you come here. This is the end point of your second cycle. So here that particular phase is called as new product development phase. Now that product is developed with the help of customer communication, proper planning, risk analysis, engineering, construction, release, and now the product is submitted to the customer for evaluation. Now after this customer evaluation, again your next cycle starts from here and you do a more customer communication. So this, here the communication with the customer is less. For the next phase you require more communication. For the another phase you require more customer communication. Then planning, then risk analysis, engineering, construction and release, and then submitted for customer verification. So the third phase is known as product enhancement projects. So first way, in the first cycle you have developed your concept. Second, you have developed the product. Product is submitted to customer for evaluation. Based upon the customer feedback, you have enhanced, product enhancement has been carried out. And again it has been submitted to the customer for further use or exit. Then later on, again, say customer communication planning, this complete cycle will be there. We call it as product maintenance projects. Maintenance phase. So the product is developed, product is given to the customer. And again, maintenance can be of say corrective kind of maintenance. Then you have studied, like it may be corrective, it may be preventive, it may be evolutionary changes, okay, it may be adaptive changes. All these kinds of support or maintenance will come here in this iteration, and project will exit here, or else it will continue there in project maintenance phase. So this is how the spiral model works. Now what could be the advantage of this spiral model? What could be the advantage of this spiral model? The spiral model you can think as a realistic model or a realistic approach for the development of large scale softwares. If you want to develop a large scale software, then you can think this spiral model as an ideal approach. And in another situation, maybe like if your management demands for a fixed budget development, the spiral model can be a problem. I mean, this could be the disadvantage. This is the disadvantage I'm telling you, that if a management demands for a fixed budget, but fixed budget software development is a very bad idea. But if your management demands for a fixed budget software development, that whatever price we have agreed upon will give you only this much only, then this spiral model is a time consuming approach. This is a time consuming activity. I mean, this selection of the spiral approach is not suitable for this kind of a fixed budget development projects. Because when you complete one circuit, in the next circuit, the project cost should be revisited and the project cost is revised. Because in the first circuit, you are talking about the concept development. So once your concept is developed, and when at the start of next circuit, you will come to know that, okay, yeah, this many things are needed. This is the functionality that I need to incorporate. So at this point, you need to revisit your cost again. You need to revisit your budgets again. Once you submit your product here, so here you need to revisit your cost and estimate again for the enhancement projects. Once you submit your enhancement related code or projects software, then you need to revisit your cost here again for the maintenance. Revise it. So fixed budget projects are there. Spiral model is not a good idea. So if you want to build a larger scale softwares, but it is not a fixed budget, I mean, there are chances of flexibility, then you should go for spiral model. One more advantage of this particular model is that since it is an evolutionary model, just like the earlier model that we have seen, prototyping model, the chances of failure, the chances of complete project failure is very less, because the developer is continuously in touch with the customer. So you get to communicate with the customer, you plan risk analysis, engineering, and you construct and release the phase. Customer will evaluate, provides the feedback or the new requirement, then you again communicate, plan, and then develop and deliver. So you are frequently delivering, you are frequently providing new versions, new releases to the customer. Customer is going to give you feedback, and based upon that you are going to improvise on your final product. As opposed to waterfall model, what is happening? Waterfall model says that it is a systematic sequential approach. You start with communication, planning, analysis, development, deployment, release, and at the end if something goes wrong, it is wrong. Because in between the entire life cycle, we have not, once the communication is done, we have not communicated, we have not discussed the things with customer. So customer interaction is only at the beginning of the project. Next and last model, I think. Okay, this is the last model. That is concurrent model. Concurrent. So concurrent means at the same time, simultaneous. Two activities are running concurrently. Concurrently means at the same time. So concurrent model, sometimes it is called as concurrent engineering. It allows the software team to represent iterative and concurrent elements of any of the process model. So for example, a modeling activity defined for the spiral model is accomplished by invoking one or more of the following software engineering actions, say prototyping, analysis, and design. This is a sample snapshot of one activity. Let's say the modeling activity. Let's say this is the modeling activity. So consider that this is a modeling activity. So modeling activity may be in an inactive state. Okay, so let us say inactive state. Why this inactive? This complete block is the magnified view of this inactive state. Okay, let us try to analyze why this activity would be in inactive state. तो हम उस inactive state के अंदर jump करते हैं. Let us try to magnify it. Okay, so inactive state, because it is in under development. Okay, inactive है मतलब under development है. Under development there are two possible things. Whether it is awaiting some kind of a changes, that's why it is inactive. Whether it is in review state, so after review there would be certain kind of suggestions will be there. That's why it is the modeling activity is in under development state. Okay, then after awaiting changes, the next state would be the under revision. Okay, so awaiting changes, I mean you are yet to receive the changes. Once you receive the changes, under revision, you are now doing the revision activity. So after revision, again you will go for review, that whatever the revisions you have done, it should be reviewed properly. So once your review is over, you will baseline the code. What do you mean by baseline? Baseline means this particular functionality has been tested, this functionality has been reviewed properly, it is working fine. Now it is baseline. Baseline means all the changes, all the new development, product enhancement, product corrections will happen on this latest baseline version. Okay, suppose आपने पहले वर्जन 1 बना के बेसलाइन किया. वर्जन 1 के बाद जब बेसलाइन हो गया तो all the teams will वो अपना पुराना कोड हटा देंगे. They will refer to this latest version 1 for all their development activity. जो भी डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है वो वर्जन 1 के ऊपर हो रहा है. वर्जन 1 के ऊपर पूरा डेवलपमेंट होने के बाद देयर विल बी अ न्यू बेसलाइन वर्जन से बेसलाइन 2. सो फिर उसके बाद जो भी चेंजेस होंगे वो सब बेसलाइन 2 के ऊपर होंगे. ओके, सो बेसलाइन. नाउ बेसलाइन के बाद आइदर इट विल बी डन. ओके, बेसलाइन के बाद ये डन हो जाएगा. डन के बाद अगेन इफ देयर आर एनी चेंजेस, सो दिस अवेटिंग चेंजेस विल साइकिल विल गो ऑन. ओके, और आफ्टर अंडर रिव्यू के बाद भी ये डायरेक्ट डन हो सकता है.